What's the deal, man?
I don't know how I feel, brother. You know, you're one of my favorite peoples, but I don't know how you feel. You getting too much props out here. Coming up my coast, my nigga. I don't know how I feel. It's like I'm happy. I'm happy on one spectrum that you getting props, right?
Right.
But
Appreciate it.
I don't like the fact the props you getting for me, though, brother.
Hey, when it's war, hey, listen, when it's war, shit just be what it is. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick a side. You got to pick a side when it's war, man. But any other time, man, you know, I used to live in New York. Come on, man. I'm the king of Harlem, nigga. Like,
no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Relax.
I'm the king of Harlem.
We're the king of Harlem. Right? No, but let me ask you this though. Do you like what's going on? You're a hip hop head still.
Yes, absolutely. I love it.
All right.
I love it. The Daylight, Joey Badass with Reason and Rayvon and Kai Cash and everybody. Is just, this is rap. It's competitive. I love, first of all, I want to say Joey Badass is really, really that guy, bro. Like he willing to take on the whole damn coast by himself type shit. You know what I mean? And he's bringing back that competitive nature. And I just love it. I love it, man.
Well, what do you feel about I'm seeing mixed reviews about his rollout for his album, that people saying this is a rollout and everything like that. His album coming out. So,
I ain't know that. But I don't think this had nothing to do with an album rollout. This was like shots was taken on these certain songs, and you can go back through the timeline, you can see where it started. Right. So I don't know if I don't know if it was planned. Maybe it was planned that way. I don't know. You got to ask him. But as far as the back and forth, the battle, with him and Daylight and the West or whatever it is, I think it started when he said it's too much West Coast D-licking. He said how he felt. He has a right to say how you feel. But when you say things, then people also have a right to respond to what you say.
Absolutely.
So
how did you take that as a West Coast representative? How did you take that though? When you first heard that?
I didn't really trip. I don't care.
Did you think down the road after that comment it would be this though? Did you think that? Did you foresee
No.
this?
No, I felt like somebody might have taken it offense, or somebody on the West probably would have said what that nigga said. Oh hell no, we ain't letting that slide. So I felt like somebody was gonna do that, but it wasn't gonna be me. Like don't listen. And by the way, the only reason why I dropped the LA State of Mind was because when Joey was up, he pretty much won the battle. He won the battle. But niggas was tagging me and tweeting me like, yo, Danny, LA getting their ass kicked out here. You got to go in there and help. You better help. You got to do something. I'm like, this is not my beef. Like that man don't know me. I don't know him. I never met the man. Like this had nothing to do with me. When Lux jumped on that track, bro.
So for you, let me ask you. For you,
that was it.
I was saying this as an East Coast cat. I was like, damn, Joey, I see you on your 1-2, but I don't see nobody standing next to you, sir. Like, there's no one standing next. Just that aesthetics of it. I'm like, how did you feel?
Well, I feel like people felt like the whole West was coming at Joey.
Right.
So it was like, in a sense, like the West was jumping him. So he like, okay, I'm finna go get Daylight's arch nemesis.
Smart move, right? Would you agree?
It was a super chess move. I loved it. But I think just with them both being on one track together, I was like, I don't know. That's kind of too. It feel like y'all jumping my nigga, man. Like, nah, fuck that. And when Geechee said, yo,
okay, I like this conversation. This is the conversation I got written down. The Geechee part.
When Geechee said something, it was like I felt that was a call. That was a call to arms. You know what I'm saying? I felt that was a call to arms.
Tell me real quick, because I had Crook and I on the show a couple of days ago, right? And I asked Crook, and I'm going to ask you as a West Coast cat also. Do you feel, as a West Coast representative, Geechee probably should not have gone to that bag because they like rock regardless? Was he keeping it too real?
Nah, you gotta keep shit real. Nah, it looked that way. It looked that way, and I like a part of me was like, "Damn, this is our man. Like that's our man." But when he said he got on the podcast, he was like, "Reason trash. This is trash." Hey, you know what that is though? That's like do better. Do better. Yeah, I respect the fight, but nigga fight harder. And that's all he was saying. That's all he was saying. He just kept shit real to his way.
Geechee's comment towards yours this track is totally different than Daylight. Even though, let me give Daylight his props though. I thought Daylight's second song was all right though. That joint he had. I like the second one he did though. He woke up in the morning and people got at him. People got at him with the first one, right?
Yeah, they ain't like that one. The second one was cool. I think the end credit was incredible. I think that's a perfect way to end, like let it go, leave it alone now. Like the end credit joint he put out was fire.
Okay.
But yeah, I felt like because when Geechee was like, yo, somebody from the West gotta, you know what I'm saying? That was his tweet. Like somebody, I need to hear something from. So I was like, okay, I got y'all. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Because at first in my mind, I'm like, well, you do something.
That's what I said in my blog. Why you ain't stepping to the plate, sir? You talk. You know
I guess he felt like, hey, this ain't my. But I think he said something like, well, if one of them niggas mention my name or whatever, now I'm loaded. I'm gonna do my one too. But when he was like, my thing was, well, damn, you saying we not winning or we need to step up, then you being one of the leaders of the coast, step up. But I'm one of the elder statesmen over here. You know, I'm gonna be on the first line. I'm gonna be on the first line of defense. So it's like, nigga, I'm gonna come outside, nigga. Like if that's what it is them versus us type of scenario, Danny, I'm always gonna rep my side. And so I just, I jumped out the window basically. But I told Daylight, I said, bro, you gotta kill these niggas. I'm about to jump in this shit. I jumped in, and I've been getting nothing but overwhelming. I'm talking about from Gina views.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised though? Because you got beat up one time. You got beat up one time for jumping.
Yeah, when I dropped I think it was Hornets Nest when I dissed NWX. People was like, this trash, this whack. You should have not.
This time,
it's like, all right, let me show y'all I really rap. Like I do this. Like I'm not just a battle rapper. I do all kind of rap, any kind of rap. Like I'm fire. So that's that. But I've been getting nothing but love from all over the world.
Wow.
All over the world.
Wow.
I didn't really care about a response back from Joey or Lux. That's not what it was for. It's like, nigga, I'm outside, nigga. That's all it is. I'm outside. I got my West Coast flag up. What y'all want to do? And I shot at both of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? So there it go.
Yeah, the Nas New York State of Mind beef for Joey.
And then New York for for Lux. Yeah. It get like that. And I could do this every day. I could do it every day, but I just
you talking heavy right now. Relax.
No, ain't no relax. No, nigga, you ain't Jada Nightwing, nigga. Where my fucking pen at? Where I wish I had my goddamn power. Throw my fucking pen, nigga. I'll throw this fire stick at your ass.
You almost at 50,000. Relax.
I can do this every day. Literally, I'm a bar guy. I don't run out of bars. Like I literally can do it every day. But it's not my beef, so I just he go to warning shot. Leave me alone. They ain't say nothing. Nobody said nothing. I've been calling out Lux for 10 years. My personal gripe was with Lux because Lux went on there and flamed. He flamed shit. He really did. I ain't gonna lie. Lux is fire. One of my favorites. Yo, Lux is fire, but it ain't gonna be none of that. If you watching a homie do a one-on-one fade. And you see another one of the ops jump in, and you just sitting there watching it. No, nigga, we don't do that. Nah, nigga, you get in there and fight with your homie, win, lose, or draw. So there's that.
Oh,
I will always come outside, nigga.
Well, let me ask you: do you think Day's approach was? This is what I feel people are saying. As dope as Daylight is, they felt like he was trying to do a battle rap on a track. Like the approach that you might have taken, and Reason would have took, or Rayvon would have took. I think people feel those bars are more direct.
Right, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly
somebody. The shit that you're saying, you're battling somebody. You know what I'm saying? You got battle bars coming at niggas on the track where niggas thought Daylight was trying to be too
Here's the thing. You're right. I think you're 100% right. I feel like Daylight wanted to show I rap you. Right. Period. None of y'all niggas can fuck with me with this rapping part. And he showed, like, I feel like on pretty much most of the tracks, like, I can rap at a high level, but there's dope rapping and then there's effective rapping. You got dope battlers and you got effective battlers, right? So you can show the technical side of it. Like, technically I'm nice, but then there's some niggas that get straight to the fuck all this fancy shit. We going to the haymakers. And I feel like Joey Badass, his approach was very digestible, you could catch it on the first bar. You ain't got to decipher it and break down that. You don't need the reactors and you don't need nobody to break it down. But Joey shit is hitting you right then and there. Like, and that was the difference in this battle. And, you know, so sometimes simplicity works. Less is more sometimes, basically what I'm saying. And so I like Joey's approach.
West Coast niggas like talking kind of fly right now, man. They acting like we hate them. I don't understand what's up with y'all West Coast niggas right now. What? New York niggas hate them. They making it sound like it's the 90s. Them days are over.
Nah. We way past that, man.
No, we all rock with each other. No. I was in Glass. Shout out to my brother Glass Malone's. Shout out to Malone. I was in Glass Malone's 2 in the Spaces 2 days ago. Nothing but West Coast niggas in there, and they was talking crazy.
Did you hold Joe Coast down?
I didn't get to talk though. I was in the listening.
Yeah. Get your ass a part of that conversation.
No, listen,
die on your heel, nigga. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
I just want niggas to know. Let's not make this an East Coast West Coast thing, but I think it's hard to do that because from Kendrick saying last year, y'all don't like the West Coast, once he made that bar,
damn.
I think the Coast ran with that, Danny, and they taking that right now in 2025 because you guys had a successful year last year.
I put it like this. I do feel like it's always gonna be that just natural competition between New York and Los Angeles or the Bay Area or whatever. It's always going to be that, but it's not as volatile or hostile as back in the 90s where this shit can go to fighting and shooting. Like, it ain't that. This is just coastal pride on both ends. That's all it's ever been about. It's always going to be like, there's never going to be a time when it's just like, I feel like when I say we, I mean the West, I feel like we always feel like we gotta keep proving ourselves to New York specifically, you know what I'm saying? Like,
let me ask you.
Gotta keep proving that we can rap with y'all niggas. We can keep up with y'all niggas.
I want you to stay right there. I've said on Twitter, and I want to see you get your take on this. The Midwest, the South, and the West Coast, when y'all get New York niggas stamping y'all and saying y'all niggas are nice, y'all feel it's official.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's like that's where everything came from. We can't front and act like this shit didn't come from there. We just we watched it, learned from it, added to our own little flavor, and we can rap too. And I feel like shout out to Razzcast and Crooked Eye, Saphir. These were some of the first West Coast niggas, and even Cube. This show, like, we can rap too. It ain't just low riders. Who?
Tash from the Alcoholics.
Oh yeah, Catastrophe. Yeah, absolutely. Alcoholics. So it's not because like for the longest, our image was low riders. Weed smoking, sunshine, gang banging. Jerry curls. Yeah, there you go. Chuck Taylor's Dickie suits. You know, with the creases in it, right? Yeah, red or blue flag. You know what I'm saying? So that I always feel like that image of the West Coast was kind of permeated throughout hip hop. So when I got into hip hop and started writing raps, I was on a mission of, and that was my whole mission in battle rap, was to show like we can rap. It ain't like yes, that is all part of West Coast culture. Yes, all of that, the lowriders, the G-Funk, the weed, yes, that is part of West Coast. But let's not ignore that we have supreme lyricists that can rap with whoever from wherever. And that's my thing. I don't think the West necessarily prided itself on high level lyricism, but a few of us really do. Pride ourselves. So when you get Game, when you get King Crooked, when you get Danny Myers, when you get Daylight, when you get Rum Nitty, and when you get B-Dot, when you get, like these is like you get Illmac. It's cats over here that really that's our stance. Like we can rap with whoever. So and the East Coast was always y'all. Okay, y'all. It was like I felt like it was like a big brother, little brother thing almost. You know what I'm saying? Like I even be feeling like that about Philly. I feel like even though Philly is in the East Coast, I feel like they always want to prove it. Like, nigga, we not in y'all shadow, nigga. We our own thing, and that's why Philly got its own sound, despite being right next to New York for real.
Agree.
Philly always wanted to show we got our own shit. We could rap too, though. Like, we ain't just all the Philly flow. They wanted to prove they could rap too. So, but more definitely us, and that's why Verb. Listen. When Verb did that Midwest movement shit, bro, what he told Hitman, nigga, he said, I'm trying to destroy these New York niggas. Y'all trying to build shit. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck them niggas. Like the New York niggas was always the enemies. Like to the West Coast, to the Midwest, to like, you know what I'm saying? And coincidentally, motherfucking like when we go 1999, and this is my stance. Now New York is starting to pick up some shit from the South. They starting to emulate some of the Southern sound. 99, 2000 when Cash Money started popping, when Cash Money and No Limit was doing their shit, and you had in 2000 when you had DMX, Jay-Z, everybody was dropping. It was cool. Now we fast forward a couple years, and now it's like. Let's go to. That's why I said designer. Let's go with designer. Let's go with Bobby Smurder.
I would go with it, but you gotta remember now the mixtape game. New York niggas is still prominent in the game in the mixtape era.
Yeah. Jada, Fabulous, Joe Budden. Yeah.
So I would say 2007, 2008.
2007. Okay, let's go there. But I really felt like no. But when I say 2000, 99, 2000, what I meant was the South really started making a lot of noise for themselves, and No Limit was dropping an album every week. Master P dropped a fucking album every week. Miss Servo, Mystical, fucking BG, Pain and Abel, everybody was like Mercedes. Come on, 3, you know your damn hip hop, bro. You know your shit, bro. That's why we
brother feed and all these niggas and all.
Fiend, nigga, Miss Servo. That's why I love having these conversations with you, because I know you knowledgeable. And so it's like that's when the shift happened. And Atlanta, to keep it real, Atlanta kind of had it ever since, for real. Like when Lil Jon them start doing their shit, motherfucking Jeezy.
Remember now,
the South took it.
It was Atlanta, Houston for a while, right?
Yeah.
Houston could keep up with Atlanta. Future, T.I., Jeezy, Gucci, these niggas just took off.
They took off, bro, and they've been dominating pretty much since then.
Absolutely.
They've been dominating hip hop since then. And I felt like even 50 Cent he emulating some of that Southern flow.
He did.
And I said, as a fan, growing up listening to Big L, Big Pun, Cool G Rap, Redman, just Method Man, like me growing up on East Coast music, I'm like, damn, this ain't the New York sound that I grew up on, and I know that. So I mean, you gotta accept change occurs, right? And there's nothing wrong with getting influence from another region and putting it in your, in your mix, right? But I feel like for a while, New York kind of had lost its identity for real.
A long time, for years.
And so when I say shit, it don't be just me making arbitrary statements. This is hard data. You could go back and research it. I said, damn, New York ain't sounding like New York no more. Y'all trying to do what they doing. I need y'all to get back to rap. And that's what Joey Badass was like. Nah, nigga, we rapping. We can rap it. Nah, fuck rap.
The young niggas in New York is not gonna stand next to them because they don't care about all that coastal shit, regional shit that we came up under in the 90s and 2000s.
We sound like some old heads.
We always listen. The young boys from New York, they fuck with Chicago. They fuck with Atlanta.
The drill music.
Yeah, they fuck with that shit. So they not like the old niggas. Like we don't care what you niggas did in the 90s. We fuck with them niggas over there and shit though.
You know what though? New York, I can say New York music always has been eclectic. It's always been different sounds and styles from me because Nas didn't sound like Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang didn't sound like Big Pun, and like everybody had their own thing. Jay-Z didn't sound like, you know what I mean? And even he started incorporating some of the Southern shit into his music, you know what I'm saying? And they 50 said, go ahead and switch the style up. They said I switch the style up, and if they hate, let them hate, but watch the money pile up. Right? But Jay-Z said
50 does have his grandfather. If you watch the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack that came with the CD back in the day,
yeah,
his grandfather had Southern roots though, even though he lived in New York.
Yeah, we all come from the South. Like we all technically everybody, grandmama, great granddaddy, somebody came from the goddamn South. So there's that whole Civil War conversation right there. Niggas migrated, left them southern plantations and went west and we all got roots pretty much in the South. But when New York, we talking about back in the inception of hip hop, New York shit was always that gritty sound, that rugged flow from motherfucking Smooth the Hustler and them, all them Brooklyn niggas, MOP. Come on, right?
Listen, let me say this right quick. When it comes to legendary status, and Smithsonian shit in hip hop, we does that. We did that.
You got it. Yeah,
Hall of Fame shit. New York City's a Hall of Fame shit in this hip hop shit. Hall of Fame legendary shit.
Yeah, but I feel like the other regions always just wanted they wanted their go too. From Atlanta to Houston. You know what I'm saying? Even further up, because even though we're West Coast and it's Cali, Oakland and Bay Area is a totally different California than Southern California. So when you go to Los Angeles and when you go to San Diego and all that shit, it's different. And that's different than Central California, where Sacramento and Modesto and all that shit out there. Right. It's all like, it's crazy, man. But we wanted to say, nigga, well, we got legends too. Yeah.
Man. Cube.
Every region has goats. Because you can say Scarface is gonna stand right next to Jay-Z when you go Hall of Fame. You're gonna say motherfucking Ice Cube from the West is gonna stand right there in a Mount Rushmore.
8-Ball MJG, you can say in the Midwest. You can say DJ Paul from the Midwest. Who else from the Midwest? Juicy J and these niggas. You can say
now you bring in the Detroit MCs. Now you get Royce 5'9", you get Eminem, you get the OD12. They got their own shit. They got their own legends. So shout out to Elzai. Shout out to all the regions. You know what I'm saying? But
Chicago got Con.
Chicago. You think of Twister and Common.
Lupe. Twister. Bubby Johnson.
Yeah. Bump J. Shout out to Bump J. The Gold Squad.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all the regions. Florida. Now you go to Florida.
That's Trick Daddy. You
go.
Jan Pony Express.
Go. JT Money.
Uncle Al, RP Uncle Al, Poison Clan.
Start with Luke. Start with Luke. Everybody got they shit, bro. And niggas just be wanting theirs, right? And I feel like because hip hop predominantly came from New York, everybody else just like, damn, man, we can rap too, though. You know, so you'll get an Andre 3000 saying, nigga, I'm a lyricist. Nigga, Southern niggas ain't slow. Because when we go to the 90s, the thing was South niggas, they don't got no vocabulary, they slow, blah, blah. This was like, I grew up in this shit, right? Them niggas like, nigga, what? And that's why there's a slogan that says the South has something to say.
Because
that's where that came from.
Imagine this. The East Coast, West Coast thing is going hard, right? They had the Source Awards, right? Outkast at the time is the only really Southern brothers really holding it down.
Holding it down.
Goody Mob doing their thing too, but Outkast, to go back to what you said, they're not really in the midst of the East Coast, West Coast beef and shit, the South and shit like that.
No,
right?
no.
So Outkast, that's why for me, man, they're real prominent when it comes to hip hop, man. What Outkast did, hold on the South.
Yes. You know your shit, 3. I love these conversations, and so
regions, man.
There's always context to why things, and so when it's the East and the West, it be reasons why. You know what I'm saying? So when rappers start saying spicy shit like niggas too much West Coast dick licking, It's like what?
I can't really say that because I came up with E40. I bought Too Short State in the ghetto. I bought Too Short and shit. I bought NWA. Listen, I'm gonna tell you real quick. And that's how you know I'm a real hip hop head. Everybody loves saying Straight Outta Compton, right? Because that's the cool thing to say.
Right.
Niggas for Life is the better NWA album.
Talk.
If you know your hip hop, MC Ren was the fucking GOAT and the MVP of that entire project. And Dre was lacing that fucking project something crazy and shit like that. This is why I give Ice Cube props over a lot of other cats. Ice Cube did a better job than Snoop in his department. When Cube left NWA, he had them with Dre beats, but he still flourished. He still flourished without Dre production. He had Bomb Squad, the rest of these niggas, right?
Right.
Snoop leaves Dr. Dre. The Dog Father ain't like that.
The nigga went to the South. The nigga went to Master P.
Went to Master P, yeah. You know? Let me ask you, how do West Coast niggas feel about that though? When Snoop went to the Master P and them niggas. Did you guys
it was different, and it was like, damn, what is this? You know what I'm saying? But we wasn't mad. Niggas wasn't mad. It was like it's a new chapter in Snoop's life. He had beat that case. It was the Suge Knight shit going. It was a lot of shit going on. And then, once that deal soured over there, he like, well, I need a new label home. And at that time, Master P's, he everything he touching turning to gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything Master P was putting out was gold. So it was like, shit, Snoop, like, he looking at it from a business standpoint. Like, I don't give a fuck about no coast, no region. I'm going where the money at. I'm finna go get some money. And that actually kind of kept Snoop's career alive. And I think that's underrated. Him going, because I don't think that was a bad move. That didn't hurt Snoop.
Right.
That kept Snoop relevant. You feel me?
I made a blog about this 3 years ago. It's on his channel still. Snoop Dogg is the most what can I title it? Snoop Dogg is the most popular hip hop artist of all time.
Yeah. The most recognizable.
Most recognizable household
name. You can argue the most famous rap voice,
yes,
and smoothest. Well, you can argue that because some people say DMX, some people say Nas. I think Snoop's voice is so distinct. It don't matter where you hear that voice, that's Snoop.
Fam, I remember hearing Snoop for the first time on Deep Cover, and I'm like, who the fuck?
What?
Like, who the fuck is this nigga? Who is this nigga?
What? Yo, creep with me. As I crawl through the hood, maniac, lunatic, call me Snoop Eastwood, kicking dust as up. But listen, that verse was so cold, bro. I was like, yo. And then, it's crazy because
Snoop's lead up was so ill because Deep Cover goes into the Chronic, goes into the Boogie style. Like,
right.
It just couldn't, he couldn't miss.
He couldn't miss. It's crazy. I just did an interview with King Crooked yesterday.
Right. Okay.
So that probably gonna drop today on my channel or tomorrow. But either way it go, we was talking about Corrupt's run. We was talking about how Lyrical Corrupt was and how his run was underrated. Like Corrupt got busy from Streets Is a Mother, the Dog Food album, all those feature verses on Dr. Dre shit. Corrupt was, I think in 95, I don't think he was really like, I don't think nobody gonna mess with Corrupt in 95.
You know what's ill about Corrupt?
That specific year.
You know why about Corrupt though? Because he has the Philly roots, right?
Right.
You're mixing the West Coast with him.
He got the mix of the West Coast vibe and the Philly lyricism, bro.
Yeah,
man.
And listen, Corrupt got one of the most slept on diss tracks that people don't talk about. Calling out names. Slept on diss track.
Motherfuck D. I ain't even gonna say that bar because that man not alive. But this nigga got that diss song was that diss song was crazy. You even could say Exhibit. Okay, Exhibit come from Detroit. He moved over to Cali, and so he's got his own little brand of lyricism. And like I said, man, when you look at the collection of take Pop coming from New York, going over to the Bay Area and Los Angeles, it's like nigga, like it's crazy when you get some of the best rappers when they got a mix. I even put myself in that category because I grew up listening to Redman and Chino XL and all the East Coast lyricism, and I got these niggas tattooed on my arm. You got a Pun here, you got Big L here, you got Biggie here. Next year, I'm getting Nas over here, Crooked Eye over here. So I got a mix of, okay, I'm from LA. I'm from South Central LA. But nigga, I really learned the science, as my man Cassidy would say, the science, you know what I'm saying, from the East Coast.
Bro, you niggas had Ahmad. Remember Ahmad?
Ahmad, absolutely. Absolutely.
Domino, you niggas had Domino. I like
Domino
too.
Yeah, Domino's fired.
DJ Quick.
Absolutely. Come on, you know your shit.
I love Tonight. Forget Born and Raised in Compton. I love Tonight. Tonight was fire. Far Side, you under the Far Side?
So you really a undercover West Coast nigga.
Yeah, I can't. Dog, a nigga said, "Oh, you hate the West Coast." I said, "Because I said Joey's up." A nigga, I said, "Bro, you can't say that to me, bro. I'm a hip hop nigga. I'm a New York nigga that listens to everything. I can tell you on every coast who was popping and what the fuck he was doing because of me moving around, and talking to niggas and watching shit too."
I'm gonna start calling you West Coast 3. You gotta get you a little. I'm gonna send you a hoodie.
MC8 Straight Up Menace of the Menace Society soundtrack.
That soundtrack was so fire.
That soundtrack was phenomenal, fam.
A messed up childhood is why the way I am. It's got me in a state where I don't give a damn.
Bro, that song, Straight Up Menace, made me go back to, because I didn't know at the time he was part of Compton's Most Wanted.
Right.
So I know my hip hop, so I had to go back and listen.
You know what's crazy? Rest in peace, Pat Stay. We used to have these private conversations.
Pat Stay is the biggest West Coast. Yo, probably more than you. Pat Stay does. Yo, he don't give a fuck about East Coast music, South music, West Coast music though.
That was a West Coast dude. No bullshit. This man was. We used to have a private conversation after our battle. We got super cool. We was always cool. He was trying to help me get my merch together. He was giving me game on how to make money out of battle rap. You know what I'm saying? Like he was giving me the real gems behind the scene. This nigga started talking about South Central Cartel. Was started naming all the members by name. I said, "How the fuck?" No, listen, I ain't gonna cuss on the channel, but this man, I said, "You from Nova Scotia and you telling me about South Central Cartel, and I never heard nobody from nowhere near the East Coast ever mention this to me ever." So anyway, Past Day was so genuine. Rest in peace to that man. He was from the West. I know he's a Canadian. He's born in Canada, but his heart was in the West.
His heart was dog. No, that's some real shit. Yo,
real spill.
Remember when remember his diss track against Game?
Yeah.
He FaceTimed me while he was in the studio. And he said, I don't even want to do this. I love the West Coast so much. This shit pains me. And when he was doing his lives back in the day, remember his Instagram lives, he had me on there one night, and I was mesmerized on how West Coast music, he knew so much about the West, so much.
He really loved the West.
Like for real.
Rest in peace, man.
Like Kid Frost. I'm like, yo, this is different.
He different. Pat Stay was different. That's why he was so.
I love Pat, man.
That's why he was so cultured. You got to think about this. When we saw Pat, I'm talking about, when I say we, I mean black people. We kind of didn't really look at him as the white guy, like how we would look at Sharon. We looked at Pat Stay. You just a light skinned brother. You really one of us, low key. I ain't gonna lie, Pat. That's why he appealed to so many people. Yes, he was so down or so genuine. Anyway, rest in peace, Pat Stay. But again, you were one of them too. That's why I'm gonna send you a hoodie. I'm going to my man, Instagram Bernardino. Shout out to James at the Waterman Swap Meet. I'm finna get you a West Coast 3 hoodie made. I'm sending it right to you.
I gotta ask you this question. So I went on Twitter with this yesterday. Fat Joe and Jadakiss got a podcast, right?
Yeah, I seen a little bit of it.
Slick Rick is the greatest storytelling rapper of all time. Feel me on this, Danny. I'm not mad at that, but here's my thing. I think we've been running with that for so long, and because of the great adventure of Slick Rick, right? The art of storytelling, I didn't care too much. And I know people are gonna say, "Well, damn, the people you mentioned, they looked up to him." Okay. But I got Nas, Scarface, Biggie,
much better.
Face as a better storyteller than Slick Rick. Damn, you say what?
It's when you talk about pioneer. See, a lot of time when people be talking about Rushmore, I think people get Rushmores and pioneers confused with best.
Right. Okay.
You might have been the first person to really push something and start it, but other people picked the torch up and learned from you and advanced it. Like I always went back and forth with my mind. Like I know Big Pun got his style from Cool G Rap, and I always to this day like did Big Pun wind up being better with Cool G style than Cool G?
Wow.
You know, I always, when you listen to Capital Punishment and the way those bars, and you listen to You Ain't a Killer and the Dream Shatterer, you listen to these, it's some of the greatest lyrical masterpieces ever put on wax. And I'm like, and he didn't even get that. He didn't have enough time on this earth to really showcase his full level. I'm like, yo, Pun might have been better than Cool G.
You're a bar guard. You're a bar guard. I said this years ago, and niggas kill me for this. I said lyrically, Pun is lyrically better than Biggie. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I got both of their faces on my arm, so I mean, there's that. but I agree. I do think Pun was I feel like he was better than pretty much everybody damn near. Unless we go to Nas, when we go to Nas and we go to Crooked Eye and we go into like lyricists of that elite status or even a Cannabis. It's like, yo, now we can debate. That name right there.
That nigga had the whole industry shook.
Yo,
niggas wanted no smoke with Can.
Cannabis had niggas. I know niggas who I was down with in my building. He made niggas want to rap. I know for a fact Cannabis influenced a couple of niggas I ran with in the 90s. Yeah, absolutely. Cannabis was so amazing, bro. Like when you heard him on that the Firm album on the Desperados. And then he did him and Redman on Beast from the East. That's right. A+, the Lost Boys, Common, yo, and he had the last verse. You're like, who the fuck is this? Who
was this nigga?
Who is this nigga?
I was just FaceTiming with Cassidy the other day. He told me how when he was like 16, 17, he knocked on Cannabis tour bus, like, come outside and fade. Like, I got 100 raps for you right now. Cannabis didn't want no smoke. Right. You know, Cassidy got 1,000 stories. They be so amazing. But anyway,
Danny, I'm gonna stay right there with that nigga right there. I'm gonna keep it real big. I need to say this. I know me and Cassidy have gone through a lot of bullshit throughout the years, but I ain't gonna front, bro. That nigga, I gotta get niggas flowers, though, bro. That nigga Cassidy was a fucking problem. I never said he was whack. I just said in battle rap, I don't think he's gonna be good in this arena. I never took him away from when you rapped on tracks, though. Yeah, Cassidy was that nigga.
Yeah, right. So, Cassidy was nice, man. That guy. Better puncher: Cassidy, Lloyd Banks, Jada, Fabulous, or Big L.
Better puncher?
The best puncher.
All right,
Jada Kiss, Big L.
You can say
Fabulous, Cassidy, Big L.
I love Big L. And I had a conversation the other day with Sky Zoo yesterday. About Big L. Sky Zoo loves Mace. I was never a Mace fan. I'm gonna keep it real. I never rock a Mace like that. I didn't like the Jiggy era.
Me neither.
It's just me. Yo,
shout out to Mace though. Shout out to Mace.
Shout out to Mace, but I'm not gonna say that because he's on camera. They were made. I was never Mace. I like Cam more than Mace. Someone, right? Boom.
For sure.
Love Kiss. Love Fab. It took me a while to like Fab because I thought Fab sounded like Mace.
Oh yeah, he had to get out of that. He had to get out of Mace shadow. He took Mace style. He took Mace style for sure.
Mace. I don't even like Mace. Why the fuck you sound like this nigga, my nigga? I don't even like this nigga. You're a
Fabulous one.
Nigga, why you sound like this nigga?
He eventually carved his own path.
He eventually changed my mind. Where I'm like, I fuck with Fab heavy now, right? Boom. Now Banks. This is where it gets dicey for me because I'm going back to 03, 04. Danny, I remember when niggas were saying they like Banks more than 50 at one time.
Of course.
I remember niggas having those conversations, though.
He was
blowing on me
better
like
lyricist.
See, Banks bars is coming to my head. Your bitch blowing on me like Nintendo games. I walk in the hotel with the rubber.
All you gotta say is just victory. That's all you gotta say is the victory song. Yeah, when you just play victory is like what are we even talking about? Shout out to Jay Moore. What is we talking about? Like you don't have to have a conversation after you hear victory, and it's like, yeah, Banks is that guy.
Yeah. And I fuck the Papoose heavy too though.
Oh man, Pat, come on, Pap's still fire. This is 20-some years later, he's still fire.
Papoose, that's one nigga. I was copping his mixtapes Bada like crazy.
I don't know if you remember these two guys sounded like Jay-Z. There was one named Sicario, and he was on those DJ Who Kid Indie.
Angie Martinez brought that nigga out. That nigga sounded like Hove. Like
sounded like Hove. And then you had Angelus. You remember Angelus? Do you remember Angelus?
Either. No. I didn't like him either. They sound like Hove.
And then there was one that sounded like Nas, and his name was Ali Vegas.
Okay, now people are gonna kill me with this. I wasn't the biggest Ali Vegas fan. See, this misconception that every New York nigga, we like every
New York that In Too Deep soundtrack, Ali Vegas got some classics on the In Too Deep.
You know, I don't fuck with every New York rapper. I don't like every New York rapper. No, I don't. It's not possible. I wasn't.
But Graph is popping around this time too.
I fucked the Graph.
I go back. I grew up on these mixtapes, bro. But
Graph was my nigga.
That's why I'm so nice. I studied all these niggas. Like that's why I'm the bar guy. Like, but anyway, 3. I'm gonna get up out of here.
My nigga, I appreciate you, Daddy, for this hip hop talk, my
nigga. This the only conversations we ever have. We don't do the drama talk and none of that.
Absolutely.
Me and King is about to premiere on Trench's channel. That's crazy. Y'all run those numbers up for me and King. Y'all get that man his flowers. Also, yeah.
Yo, my nigga, hold us a good rollout for the battle, though. Let's keep it
Yeah. Let's keep it I got a no debating episode with King Crook dropping pretty soon.
Okay.
You know, so it's be out tonight or tomorrow. So
okay, all right.
Salute to y'all.
Love you, my nigga. You know the vibes already, brother.
Hey, all right, West Coast 3.
Shout out my nigga Danny Wise. Y'all know.